So, why did you start judo, Daniel? How would you describe Daniel before judo?
Well, I was getting bullied for being a fat little kid, which, fair enough.
Well, when he first turned up, it was like one of them where I didn't know how long it was going to last.
Because it was such an intense, all-encompassing experience. I think what it gave him was a focus and a determination, which I think he lacked beforehand.
From the second I stepped on the mat, I was addicted.
He really stood out as a guy who was like really putting the effort in.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it really gave him something big in his life that was all-consuming.
But that sort of came to a flaw when he beat the British #1 at the time.
I was doing judo all the time. I think it became a real escape for me.
I really love it for him. He's always wanted to travel, and this has been a great experience. Relatively safe environment. Good experience.
Yeah.
What's your proudest and worst moment in judo?
I'd have to say my proudest moment would probably be when I got invited to live up at the Olympic Centre for Jack Hodgson. He messaged me and he said that they have to train for their World Championships and they need training partners, heavyweight training partners, and there's very few in Britain. And when he asked me and he said, you can come up for a week, I said, can I stay there? And he was a bit took back by me saying that, but he said, yeah. And then I started living there, I moved in, and I stayed there for nearly 2 years.
And I think you can really see how much he's developed and improved over the years. There's people now that he can beat that a few years ago he couldn't. So, yeah, it's very satisfying.
My least proudest moment was probably while I was at the centre and I tore my MCL.
It was horrible watching the replay of it.
My ligament was completely torn.
He'd already had a few injuries, and this really literally took the legs from beneath him.
It was a really hard moment. I'd never had an injury like that where you're out of judo for so long. You can't train for months and months and months.
And then the not knowing how long it was going to take to repair, whether he would be able to continue there.
And I realised that I wouldn't be able to compete for the next at least 4 or 5 months because I had to do rehab and start walking again.
Knocked his confidence on a few occasions.
And really lost all my motivation.
Gutted, really.
Yeah, gutted for him.
Yeah.
I really let myself go. I didn't get out of bed. I became really, really fat. Yeah, I'd started gaining weight again. And really lost all my motivation, but thankfully someone made a bet with me that I could lose all the weight, and I did. I left originally to go check on my family and see how everyone's doing, because I remember when I left, my family weren't in the best sort of place, and I felt like I had to leave to ensure my own progression and my own career. So when I came back, I realised that they didn't have the money to keep supporting me.
I think it's equivalent to having a child at university.
I was really depressed and low, and nothing felt like it was going my way.
So, the expenses of accommodation and food and travel.
I couldn't afford to keep living there.
I think the big costs come when there are events. So you've got international events that, as parents, you are required to fund.
Which, as heartbreaking as it is, it's just what happens.
So that can be anything from £600 to £1,000 a throw.
So who do you think your biggest supporter is on and off the mat?
It'd have to be my dad. He supported me through everything. He drove me to events. He he was there in my highs and my lows. He was really just there for all of it, and I have no level of gratefulness I can say to him to tell him how happy I am that he was there for me and he took that journey with me.
I think anybody who has somebody who's competing in sports, it immediately brings them together.
So how do you feel watching Daniel fight?
For me personally, I'm not very good at watching him live, but I do like watching it on the telly at home, and I kind of share the link with all the family so that we can all watch at the same time. A lot of dancing and shouting and screaming.
Is there an end goal to this, Daniel?
My end goal for starting judo was always to be the best, to go to the Olympics.
Do you believe that Daniel would go back to the centre if he had the opportunity to?
I think he probably would.
Yeah, hopefully, because I feel like it wasn't the end really in terms of the way that he came
Planned
home.
it. No, and I think he had more to give.
I do have dreams of coming back there someday, and I think I will.
B-I-G-G-I-E, a.k.a. B-I-G, get it? Biggie, also known as the Bon Appetit. Rappers can't sleep, need sleeping. Big keep creeping, bullets heat seeking. Casualties need treating, dumb rappers need teaching. Lesson A, don't f with B-I, that's that, O-I. Thought he was whack, oh come now. Why y'all so dumb now? Hunt me or be hunted. I got 357 ways to simmer saute. I'm the winner all day. Lights get dimmer down Biggie's hallway. My forte causes Caucasians to say he sounds demented. Call you sent it. If I said it, I meant it. Bite my tongue for no one. Call me evil or unbelievable. Out the sunroof, Alexis coops leave no witness.